Part 1 Lost Messages. I am Alpha. Now, I will tell you a story that perhaps was never meant to be told. His phone vibrated on the table, a new message. But when he opened it, it was empty. No text, no sender. He blinked, another vibration. This time, the message contained just 2 words. Look up. Just his own reflection, pale in the dim light. But as he leaned closer, something shifted. The air grew colder, his breath misted in front of him. And then, as his eyes adjusted, a shadow, dark and unmoving, materialized behind him. Not just any shadow, it had eyes. His phone buzzed again. A final message appeared. Too late. Silence is only the beginning. Some messages are not meant to be read. Leave a like and check the Part 2. The shadow in pictures. I am Alpha. Photographs capture memories, but sometimes they reveal things that should not exist. He scrolled through old pictures on his phone, searching for an explanation for the eerie feeling that followed him. At first, nothing seemed off, just his usual photos, his room, his desk, a night out with friends. Then, he noticed something. A faint shadow appeared in every other photo. The figure was blurry, distorted. Its shape seemed wrong, unnatural, like it wasn't meant to be seen by human eyes. And in the final image, it stood right behind him. But the worst part, the image had been taken while he was asleep. Some things are better left unseen. If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check the comments. Part 3, the door that should never have opened. I am Alpha. Doors protect us. But what if something is trying to get inside? At 3 a.m., a soft creaking sound woke him. It came from the hallway. The door, which he always made sure to close, was slightly ajar. The darkness beyond it seemed deeper than usual. He reached for his phone, turning on the flashlight. The beam of light barely pierced the void beyond the door frame. The air felt heavy, like something unseen was pressing against his chest. Slowly, he got up and pushed the door shut. But before it clicked into place, something on the other side pushed back. The resistance wasn't strong. It was subtle, deliberate, as if whatever was there wanted him to know it was waiting. Then, 3 slow knock, 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 knock. He held his breath, fingers tightening on the doorknob. A whisper came through the crack. You left it open before. Closed doors sometimes mean a warning. If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check Part 4. The face in the dark. I am Alpha. Mirrors deceive, and sometimes they reflect on things that was never meant to be seen. During the day, he tried to forget, but his mind kept returning to it. That night, he left the light on, just in case. When he turned toward the window, he froze. In the glass, the face stared back at him, but it wasn't his own. The features were slightly off, like a distorted version of his reflection. The eyes, empty, yet aware. He swallowed, raised his hand. The reflection didn't follow. Then slowly it smiled. The light in the room flickered. A low hum filled the air, vibrating through his bones. The reflection leaned closer from the inside. Glances can't be ignored. Leave a like and check the comments if you want to continue. Part 5. Voices in the silence. I am Alpha. When the world goes quiet, that's when you realize you are not alone. At 4 a.m., a whisper woke. It came from the corner of the room, but when he turned on the light, nothing was there. He turned the light off. The whisper returned, louder, closer. This time he could make out words, garbled, broken phrases, almost looked like his own voice. He clenched his blanket, forcing himself to breathe. The whispers stopped, then silence, and in the quiet, one single word echoed. Turn around, but he wasn't ready. He shut his eyes tight, waiting for it to end. Then the mattress shifted beside him. Something was in the bed. Sometimes the answer is worse than the question. Leave a like and check the comments for the next Part 6. Scratches on the wall. I am Alpha. Some things don't knock. They claw their way in. At dawn, he awoke to an unsettling sight. His bedroom wall, untouched the night before, was now covered in deep, jagged scratches. His breath quickened as he traced the marks with his fingertips. The grooves were fresh, as if carved by something sharp, something not human. The thought sent a shiver down his spine. He grabbed his phone, but when he looked at the screen, the scratches weren't just marks. They were letters. A message, scrawled in long, uneven strokes. Let me in. His phone screen flickered. A new notification appeared, but there was no sender. Just a single image. A close-up of his bed, taken from the foot of it. The walls don't lie. Something was here last night. If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check the comments. Part 7. When voices call your name, should you answer? something was having a conversation just inches away. Then something even worse. Among the whispers, he heard his own voice, calling his name. A slow knock followed. Knock. No message. Open the door. Do you ever wonder who's really knocking? If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check the comments. Part 8. The hand under the bed. I am Alpha. When the night is quiet, do you ever wonder what's lurking beneath you? He hadn't moved for hours, his body frozen in place, ears straining for any sound beyond the silence. Then a rustle from below, a slow, deliberate movement beneath his bed. Not the settling of the floorboard. He gripped the blanket tighter, sweat trickling down his temple. Then a soft scrape, fingernails dragging against the wooden floor. He forced himself to glance down, heart hammering against his ribs. Just a peek. The hand emerged from the shadows, pale, bony fingers curling around the mattress edge. The fingers twitched, and then they pulled. Some things wait in the dark, and some things are real. If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check the comments. Part 9. The face in the mirror. I'm Alpha. Your reflection watches, but is it really yours? His breaths were shallow as he stumbled toward the bathroom. He needed to shake his feeling, splashing water on his face. He finally dared to look up. The mirror should have reflected him. Instead, his reflection was delayed. He raised his hand. The reflection followed, but slower, as if his heart pounded. The reflection stayed back, lips parted slightly, mouthing something he couldn't hear. Then it smiled, not a normal smile, something too wide, too wrong. He turned away, but the reflection didn't. Some reflections don't belong to you anymore. If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check the comments. Part 10. The locked window. I'm Alpha. Windows let us see out, but sometimes they let things see in. A loud thud against the glass made his bedroom window shook, but nothing was outside, at least not at first glance. He edged closer, heart racing, breath fogging up the glass. Then he saw it, a shape, standing at the very edge of the street, watching. The figure had no face, just a dark, shifting void, where its features should be. Then, slowly, it moved, not walking, not running, just appearing closer. Each time he blinked, it jumped forward, until it was just on a handprint pressed against the glass from the inside. Are you sure your windows keep things out? If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check the Part 11. The knocking in the walls. I am Alpha. Walls don't just hold secrets. Sometimes they whisper back. A rhythmic knock, knock, knock echoed through his room. Not from the door, not from the window, inside the walls. He pressed his ear against the cold plat. He wanted to move, to run, but his legs felt like lead. The whispers grew louder, overlapping, distorting into something in you. Then, all at once, it stopped. Silence, followed by one last, deliberate knock right behind his head. Then the whisper returned, just inches from his ear. Let me out. When something calls your name, do you dare to answer? Standing in the hallway, he felt it, a presence. Something just behind him. His spine tingled. He turned his head slightly, but not enough to see. Then, in the silence, a voice right behind his ear. It said his name. His blood ran cold. The breath against his skin was real. A shadow flickered in the corner of his eye. He squeezed his eyes shut, willing himself to wake up, to move, to do anything. A slow creak echoed through the room as his bedroom door swung open on its own. What happens when you're not alone anymore? If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check the comments. Part 13. The door that opened it. He was sure, but the handle turned slowly. A pause. Then the door opened. The hallway beyond was dark, impossibly deep. A low hum filled the air, a vibration that made his teeth ache. Then a single footstep closer. He swallowed hard, stepping back. The shadows in the hallway stretched unnaturally, reaching across the floor. Then another footstep. A whisper slithered through the crack before the door shut completely. Next time, I'll come inside. Some doors lead to places you can't come back from. If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check the comments. Part 14, the final message. I am Alpha. The last message is always the one you should have never read. His phone vibrated again. A message. The pressure of unseen eyes. The shift in the air. Another vibration. Another message. Turn around. His throat clenched. He forced himself to lift the phone, hands shaking, and opened the latest notification. It was a photo. His own back, taken from right behind him. The air turned ice cold. His vision blurred as panic set in. He turned, phone gripped tight. Some message should remain unread. If you want to know what happens next, leave a like and check the comments. Part 15, the end or not. I am Alpha. The story ends here, but does it really? The lights flickered, the air grew still. The presence was no longer just behind him, it was everywhere. The walls trembled, the shadows stretched, reaching toward him. His phone screen lit up one last time. His breath, he turned to run, and everything went dark. But before the darkness swallowed him whole, the last thing he heard was a voice, his own, whispering, "Now, we are one." Is this truly the end, or just another beginning? If you want more stories, leave a like and check the